everybody. I am going to be filming a $10 makeup challenge. And you guys might have seen these before. They've been kind of floating around on the internet for a little while. But basically, you have to do a full face of makeup for $10 or less. So if you can imagine, that's pretty difficult because there are some eyeshadow palettes that are like over $50. So now you have to do your entire face of makeup for under 10. Is it possible? We're gonna find out. I did find the products for an entire face of makeup for under $10, but if they're good is an entirely different question. So we're going to get started here. I found all of my products at the Dollar Tree. I just went and picked out some things for each category, and I don't know how well they're gonna work, but we're gonna test them out together. I haven't even opened any of these. Alright, so at the dollar store I didn't find any primers, but I found a bunch of foundations and BB creams, but all of the foundations were really dark. And since obviously I couldn't go for $10, I had to pick one out there. So I found a BB cream by the brand sassy+chic, and hopefully this works. This is the only one that had a shade light enough, hopefully light enough. The shade is light 1, so I'm assuming it's going to be this lightest shade right up here. And here's the packaging here. Again, only $1, and it also is supposed to have acne treatment with salicylic acid. So hopefully this is actually going to do something really good. As you can see, again, haven't even opened it up yet, so we're gonna try this guy. I guess I'm just gonna apply this with my hands because I can't use any beauty sponges, because the $10 makeup challenge, people do it differently, but I want to do it the authentic way where you can't even use any tools that you have otherwise, because that technically does add to the price. Okay, that color actually looks really light, which is good because I'm really light, so hopefully it looks this light on my face as well. It smells like plastic. I mean, I didn't expect too much considering this is from the dollar store, but yeah, it doesn't smell great. It looks really pale right now. Especially in the camera, it looks like I'm putting on a face mask. In real life, it looks more like a sunscreen. Wow, this is looking real pale. It's also like really thick and kind of sticky, but it's starting to feel better the more I like rub it in. So it's not too bad. At first it felt like really sticky. It actually looks really good. It's not full coverage by any means. Like, you can still see all the imperfections on my chin and everything, but you know, more than just like my regular skin, it does look a little bit blurred, a little bit nicer. So I'm gonna so far call this a win. Like, I'll let you know obviously if it breaks me out something fierce or, you know, oxidizes or something throughout the day, but it really looks pretty good, and I don't think it looks too pale on screen anymore either. After foundation, I normally like to do eyes, so I guess we'll do that. I have the LA Colors 12 color eyeshadow palette in the shade Trendy. Let's see if I can get it without the glare. So it's just, you know, browns and nudes. There was also, I think, a purple one and maybe a green one, but I decided probably brown would be the best bet. Again, I can't use any other tools that I already have, so I have to use the little sponge kind of applicator. So there's the palette. It looks like it's got kind of a warms, cools, and neutrals, so each quad sort of is like that. That's pretty cool. Hopefully these work out pretty well. These bottom ones almost look a little bit purpley. We're gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna start with this lightest color here in the top corner, and I'm just gonna put this all over the eyelid. Texture actually feels decent, like just by the swatch. It doesn't feel, it's pretty pigmented, see? And it's not like super chalky or anything. Relatively medium hopes, I guess. I don't want to get my hopes up like really high or anything, but it's better than I expected. I used to use these sponge tip applicators for eyeshadow all the time, like back before I really started getting into makeup, but now that I've been using brushes, it feels so weird to use. I think we got a pretty even canvas on the eyelids, so we're gonna go, I think we're we're going to take this shade right here, this top corner one here. And we're going to put that in the crease, kind of a transition shade. Okay, the color itself is okay. It doesn't seem like a bad eyeshadow, but this applicator, man, oh my gosh. It's also like scratchy. Okay, I think that's decent. Should we move on to the next color? These actually look pretty nice. I think they're all matte. These actually look pretty good. Pretty pigmented and smooth. Let's see, we're gonna take this kind of purpley brown here, and I'm gonna put that in the outer corner. I'm gonna bring a little bit of that into the crease and a little bit down into the lower lash line. Okay, and then I just took a tiny bit of this like kind of taupey caramely color right here, the second one in on the top, and put that kind of as a middle shade in between the dark outer corner and the light of the base that I originally put down, so just right in the middle of the lid. And I think that's probably good for eyeshadow. I actually kind of like how it turned out, and I think that if you had really good tools, like actual brushes and stuff, it could look really decent. These are not a bad eyeshadow palette. These are not a bad eyeshadow palette. This is not a bad eyeshadow palette. I think the colors are really nice and pretty good quality, and so for $1, I would actually kind of recommend picking this up. Obviously, I don't know about wear time yet, but for initial quality purposes, it's pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna say we'll take it to Eyeliner Town now. This one's also from LA Colors, just like the eyeshadow palette, and this is the LA Colors Liquid Eyeliner in, oh no, dark brown. I thought I got black. We'll try it out. Hopefully it works okay. I'll swatch it to show you guys. That's actually like a really nice fine tip point. Very pigmented and liquidy. Oh boy. Okay, it looks almost black, so hopefully this will be okay. This I'm gonna have to do off screen because I'm gonna be like right up in my mirror's grill. So I'll check back in with you in a second when this is done. Okay, eyeliner done, still drying, it feels pretty damp. I don't normally go for liquid eyeliners. That's just personal preference. I tend to stick to felt tip or gel eyeliners because I think they have more control and they just work a little bit better. But again, I think this is the only option with the liquid eyeliner. And as far as liquid eyeliners go, it worked pretty well. I mean, you can get a really thin line. Obviously, that's not right there. It's pretty thick. But you can get a really thin line because the applicator is so thin. But me being me, of course, I screwed it up and ended up with a pretty thick one just because I messed up and then I had to fix it. You know how it goes, right? But you can get a thin line. And it's really pigmented. It doesn't feel like it dries and then it starts to crumble. If you are a fan of liquid eyeliners, I would actually recommend this one. This is, again, the LA Colors Liquid Eyeliner in dark brown, but I'm sure they have like black and other colors as well. And if I liked liquid eyeliner, this would probably be something I would repurchase, especially because it's so cheap. But again, I don't typically reach for them, so probably won't use it much in the future. But if I do happen to want to use a liquid eyeliner, this one's not bad. Okay, let's do mascara. Again, LA Colors in very black. They didn't have a ton of brand options. It was mostly the foundation brand, which is Sassy+chic, and then LA Colors, and then some e.l.f. stuff. And we're gonna go with LA Colors mostly, apparently. This is apparently a new one, and it's more volume. So this is a lash building formula mascara. We're gonna try it out. Wand is tiny. Look at that. It's just the old-fashioned, you know, kind of traditional spirally wand. So let's give it a shot. Formula is very dry, which is fine. I mean, it means it's not gonna get clumpy fast, but you have to build it up a lot. Okay, there's one coat, and it looks okay, but I think I'm gonna have to go back in with a second coat, which is kind of a bummer because I don't normally go in for a second coat. I just, you know, I like to have an easy makeup routine, and that usually consists of one coat of mascara. So I like to find mascaras that do a lot in one coat. So I'm going to go back in with the second one of this. Okay, and there's two coats. Can you see the difference? I can, but again, I don't think it's necessarily worth having to put on 2 coats when there's so many better options. If you're on a budget, again, it is only $1, so it's a pretty good option for that. But there's also things like Wet n Wild, I think Sky Rise mascara that I actually like quite a bit better. And it works really well, especially in 1 coat. Similar applicator, but it's a better formula. So, I mean, it's not bad if you're on a budget, but there are some better options out there. This is the one e.l.f. product I got, and it is a concealer and highlighter, and I actually already had this one, but because I couldn't find a concealer that was remotely light enough for me, and I couldn't find any highlighters at the dollar store, I picked up this product that I had in my collection already, that is the e.l.f. Under Eye Concealer and Highlighter in, I think it's light. This was a $3 product, but I didn't go over my $10 budget. In fact, I stayed at $9. So I'm going to use this as a concealer, and then we'll come back to the highlighter in a little bit. This might be a little bit dark for a concealer for me. I haven't really used this before. Now I gotta blend with my fingers. Well, I don't think it did a whole lot. I mean, it's an okay product. It doesn't have any weird smell. The color match looks pretty good, but it also isn't great. Like, it didn't cover up a whole lot, and it didn't really brighten up my under eyes. I think it's kind of just an average product. Like, the formula felt fine, it was creamy, but it's not like super pigmented. So, I mean, if you have minor dark circles or if you have minor blemishes that aren't super obvious, then it's probably an okay product for you, but I really like a fuller coverage and it just didn't do much for me. Let's move on to blush. I got the LA Colors powder blush in the shade Pink Blush. There's the packaging there. I'm going to take a look at it. Again, I can't use my regular blush brush, which is going to be annoying. I have to use this tiny little brush here. But there's the shade. It looks like a very cool toned kind of baby pink. Almost purple. Feels pretty good. It's not super pigmented. Yeah, you can't even see it swatched on my hand. It's kicking up a lot of powder with this brush. Oh my gosh. Ew, do you see the brush? Oh my gosh, all the hairs are like getting messed up. Anything happening? I don't see any color on my cheeks right now. It's just like leaving fuzzies on my cheek. This brush is horrendous. At the moment, I can't even tell you if the blush is any good because this brush is horrible. Moving on to my fingers because I can't deal with this brush anymore. I think that's working a little bit better. It's a really fair blush though. Very not pigmented. I'm gonna say probably a no on the blush front. I would pass this one up. Like, I've already somehow got into hard pan. Don't know what's going on. Like, I'm barely getting any pigment anymore. Can you see any color on my cheeks? It basically just looks like my natural cheeks are showing through. We're gonna put the e.l.f. highlighter. I think it's just in Glow is the shade. I think that's all of what these are. There's like a light, a medium, and a dark highlight or concealer, and then I think the Glow highlighter is the same, but it's just like a plain white highlighter. It's pretty shimmery. It might have like a little bit of pinkiness to it, but I'm just gonna put those, you know, tops of my cheeks. I'm gonna blend it now before it dries. This one smells weird. The highlighter smells odd. So hopefully you can see it. It did leave a little bit of a glow. It's pretty subtle in the natural light though. Like, I can barely see it in the mirror. In the camera, I think it's a little bit more obvious because the light's on me. But there is a little bit of a glow. Not my favorite. I don't think it's something I'm going to necessarily reach for, especially since I prefer powder highlights. But it's not bad. Just the smell is kind of the main annoyance here. It smells like plastic, like that BB cream. But, I mean, it looks pretty good. If you're looking for a more natural one, like for work or school, then it might be something you would consider. Especially since it's affordable. The dual-ended thing is only $3. And last, we'll move on to lips. This look is looking pretty light, and I don't think the lip is going to help it at all. It came out of the package in the move. It was sealed when I bought it, but it's, again, LA Colors in the color Fruit Punch. It's a lip gloss. Also says it's new. Basically, all of these products, except for the blush, say that they're new. I don't know about that. So this is, again, only $1, and it's actually really cute packaging. I like it. Doesn't feel too cheap. It feels, you know, like good plastic. Like this e.l.f. product, it feels cheap. But this, hopefully this lip gloss is good. It says it's a moisturizing formula. It looks pretty bright coral. Let's swatch it really quickly. It looks like it might be kind of pigmented. There's the lip gloss there. Kind of sticky. Ooh, it smells like Like very, very sweet. Kind of fruity. It smells like if Hubba Bubba made a fruit punch bubble gum. That's what it smells like. Okay, we'll put it on. No lipstick or anything. It actually feels good. It doesn't feel sticky. It's like creamy. But wow, that smell. Not as pigmented as I thought it might be. Yeah, it smells like bubble gum. Color's pretty good. It's like a light, natural, corally pink. So it's not necessarily my favorite lip product, but it's not as bad as I was expecting it to be. If you can get past the smell, it might be something that you would think about purchasing. Super cheap. The formula is actually pretty good. It's not super pigmented, but if you're looking for more of a light makeup day thing, it's not bad. So I normally tend to reach for, you know, lipsticks that are really pigmented, but all the colors were really bad, and so I was like, you know what, we're just gonna go safe with the lip gloss. So I think that's what it ended up being. Pretty safe. So this is my completed look for $10. Actually, only $9. I stayed under $10 and I got a complete makeup look. I basically wish I had a better blush. Otherwise, everything looks pretty good. Like, it's not the most amazing look that I've ever come up with, but for only $9, it's not a bad one. If you wanted to do other things like a bronzer or a contour or have your eyebrows done or anything like that, then you might have to pick and choose what kind of things you want. Like maybe you will forego the highlighter and the concealer for a contour or bronzer or eyebrows. But since those aren't things I normally do, I'm gonna say this is a pretty good look for me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you want to see me do maybe a $20 makeup challenge, then go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I have been considering doing one of those, but we'll see how you guys like this one, and if you do want me to do that $20 one, then let me know. Also, if you enjoyed, go ahead and hit subscribe. I would love to have you stick around and be part of the Geeky Chic family. And as always, thank you for watching. I love knowing that I have people to hang out with here on the internet, and I hope you guys are all doing great, and until next time, I'll see you very, very soon. Bye! Anyways, I tend to enjoy this unboxing. They send you some pretty good stuff, always over the value of what you're paying. Hi, Darce. Okay, alright, that's enough of that. Until we have to pack.